So, when I was a kid, I remembered thinking, I really hope I don't get acne when I grow up or when I am a teenager. And well, my dream and wishes, they were dashed into a million pieces because I got acne. I got pimples all over my face. And it was an interesting, normal teen experience, I feel like. It started when I was about 10 or so. I realized what acne was and watching all of the commercials on TV, especially the orange citrus burst. That one was pretty famous. Well, I really wanted to prevent acne from happening. I had an older brother who was about 5 years older than me, and he used some type of pads with benzoyl peroxide on them. And I don't know. I don't know how much he did it or what, but yeah, he did that. So I would steal some of his pads every now and then when he wasn't watching. And that's how it first started. And then I got older, like 13, 14, and I started to get a lot more acne. So what I did was I freaked out like any teen girl would do. Not really, I wasn't really freaking out, but I decided to ask my mom if I could get proactive because I think one of my other friends had it. And so that's what I got. I got proactive, and I did not skip one single day when I was using that stuff. Oh man, I woke up and I used it before school and I used it before I went to bed at night. And I will say that my skin did pretty good with it. There was a pimple here and there, like, the whiteheads. They're kind of obnoxious, especially they're gross, but oh well. So that was all through middle school, basically. I mean, at least 7th and 8th grade. And I used it nonstop. I think I used it through ninth grade also. But then I went on vacation with my dad and I saw a new commercial for something called Murad. And it was supposed to be a miracle thing for your skin. And well, I asked my dad if he would buy that for me. I was kind of a spoiled brat when I think about it because I would ask for that type of stuff and then my parents would get it for me. But also, I know my parents felt bad for me because I had acne, but if I just stayed with the proactive, I don't think it would have done too much harm. I don't know. I mean, so here's the thing. When I got off of proactive at about 10th grade, my face exploded. It was way worse than it had ever been. In middle school, I had acne on my forehead and nose and chin, the T-zone. But then, like, I never really had acne around my cheeks. And well, when I got off of that proactive, I feel like my whole face just went crazy. And I learned later that proactive is like meth for your skin. And my skin went crazy. It just exploded. It was absolutely a horrifying experience because I was doing pretty good with proactive, and then I just was so OCD, I guess, about the rare pimple here and there every other day. But really, that was not very bad when I learned the alternative, which was explosion over my whole face. So then my mom took me to see a dermatologist, which was pretty nice of her to take her time out of her busy life to care for her daughter. So I went to the dermatologist and they took pictures, which was humiliating, but that's what they do. And I knew that I did not want to get on Accutane because I had learned some bad stuff about that and how it can possibly cause you to not be fertile, or it just does bad stuff or whatever. So I didn't want to do that. So I went with the next thing, and I don't even remember the name of it, but it worked pretty well. So it was like this little yellow pill or something. It had yellow powder in it, and so I would take that, I think, just once a day, and I hated the idea of taking a pill for acne. So at some point I stopped. I don't even know when, but I just stopped, and I think I gave up, even though that pill worked, but I just didn't like the idea of taking a pill. I still don't like the idea of taking pills. Anyway, that's what happened with that. And I remember I got my wisdom teeth taken out my senior year of high school, and somebody had said like my bones had turned black in my mouth, like the root of my teeth, and I was like, that is really gross. And they attributed it to the pill that I was taking, and I was like, huh, weird. So fast forward, I am in college, and my roommate had the clearest skin I have ever seen, and that girl did nothing. She didn't hardly take a shower, and her face was so clear. It was so unfair. But life's not fair, so we gotta get over it. So I was just shocked, and I decided not to do anything. Also, backing up here, I know I'm not super organized in my thoughts, but in middle school, I remember my cousin. She was shocked that I literally washed my face with Proactive morning and night every day. When we would go visit for holidays, I would get to have a sleepover in her room, and she loved talking, and I liked talking, but I also liked sleeping. But I kid you not, at about 10 o'clock or so, I would remember, bing, in my mind, and I would say, oh, I have to go wash my face. And she would be like, are you kidding me? We're already in bed. So I would get up, I'd go to the bathroom, and I would wash my face with the Proactive, which I must say is a 3-step program. I don't know if you know anything about Proactive. You probably do if you're watching this video, because it is pretty famous, I think. I don't even know if it's still famous. I remember they used to sell it in a mall, in like a kiosk, and I was shocked. And it was interesting because when I was growing up, it was $30 a month for a subscription, and I was pretty thankful my mom was willing to pay that for me. And yeah, I was thinking about how it's odd because it's $1 a day to keep the acne away. No, so that's what I did all growing up. I did that, and then I went to college, and I just kind of gave up, I guess. I don't know. I guess I got busy or something, and then I went and got married, and then I still didn't do anything with my face because I was like, I don't care anymore. Acne is just a part of life. And I remembered hearing about people who, when they get pregnant, their face explodes, and I'm like, oh, I really hope that doesn't happen. And I don't feel like it happened. I might have gotten some, but I don't know. I also know that acne is a part of your diet. Like, if you eat right and healthy, you have less acne. I know that when I have chocolate, I get little breakouts here and there, and it's not going to stop me from eating chocolate, so that's what I get. I get acne. And I think also if I drink coffee with milk in it every day, I think that doesn't help for me personally. Everybody has to figure out what works with their body and whatnot. So I hope you figure out what you need to do. If you need to do anything, if you are one of the lucky ones that don't have to do anything, then great. And yeah, so right now I will tell you I'm 35, and this is what my skin looks like. And I know the lighting isn't perfect, but I'm going to get closer so you can see. You can see my forehead and my cheeks and chin and all that. And you can also see some age spots like freckles. I got some freckles growing right here that I didn't used to have. It's kind of weird to get older, but that's like a joy and a pride in life, to get to grow old and get wrinkly. That's pretty exciting. Like, wrinkles are a sign of a long life, obviously. Like, duh. No, I'm just joking. But here you go. You can see my skin. It's not super focused, but hopefully you can see it. But that's what I got now. With certain lighting, it gets a lot worse. Like, I actually watched a short video today, and the person had a light over the top of their head, and they had makeup on, and you could see all the bumps. And really, lighting is a really deceiving thing, because when you're out in the sunlight makes there's no shadows, okay? That took way too much effort to try and explain. But really, there's no shadows, and so your face just is your face. But here's the other thing that I really wanted to point out is that acne doesn't matter. I know. It's easy for me to say now that I'm in my 30s and don't have acne as much, but I still have a bumpy face. But I don't have a bunch of like whiteheads. I still have the pimples that just sit in here. There's actually one right here. I don't know if you saw it, but it's right there. It's just this bump. And I get those little bumps here and there, and sometimes I will dig them out, and that's really gross, but there's usually like this white speck of whatever that comes out, and then it makes me feel good that I got it out. But okay, back to the main point. The main point I wanted to say was what's on the inside is what matters. And I know you've heard that. I've heard it so many times, but it's so true. Like, when we don't have kindness, when we're not kind, then who cares? Like, nobody wants to look at us if we're not kind. But even if a person is, by society's standards, ugly, if they are kind, everybody wants to be their friend. Like, nobody wants to be friends with a really pretty girl who's a jerk face. Like, for real. So that's what I've been mulling over for a while now, is that, like, when we're kind and when there's an actual kind person, that is attractive. So just remember, like, if you're thinking about getting married or something, or seeking a partner, like, I'm sure you know that you don't want to be with somebody who's not kind. So who cares if they look good in pictures that you can post online or something? If they're not kind, why would you want to be with them? Like, I've heard it before, like, an ugly person who is kind, they stay married. Okay, well, that was basically my little spiel for today, which wasn't that much of a spiel, but I figured I would try and stay on topic for once. So today's topic was acne, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening to my talking, because it's fun. And I hope that you do well and take care. I hope you take care. I don't know how to end a video. Okay, so alrighty, well, take care, and we'll see you next time. God bless.